Hello friends, welcome back to my sessions. So today we will be going to check how do you implement retry logic for failed tests in testng. So first we need to understand what does retry logic means. So basically this is used in testng. So when a test case fails, sometimes it's not because of a real bug. It may fail due to network slowness, network may slow down. It may be because of application loading delay, and it may be because of some temporary glitch. So in such cases, you don't want your test suite to immediately mark the test as failed. Instead, you want to retry it automatically a few times before finally marking it as failed. So how to do this in testng? So basically, testng provides an interface called IRetryAnalyzer. So you write a class that implements this interface, and inside it you just tell testng how many times to retry when a test fails. Then you link this retry logic to your tests. So let me quickly show you the end-to-end runnable example for this. So already created here the RetryAnalyzer class. So I will just going to implement IRetryAnalyzer interface here. So implements IRetryAnalyzer, and now we do one thing. So it's asking me to add all unimplemented methods, so I just added it. So before writing the implementation of our retry method, I will be going to define one variable here, and I will be going to initialize its value as 0. So I'm gonna put it private int retry count equals 0. So basically retry count I'm just putting to check how many times test has retired so far. Fine. And I will be going to put one max retry count. So I will be going to declare here one more variable. In fact, I will just define it also. So private, and I'm just making it static so that I can easily access it at a class level. This variable int max retry count equals 2. Fine. So this basically I took just to check how many times we want to retry. So for example, I want to retry it 2 times, but the attempts will be total 3. So I will be putting total 3 attempts in which I will be retrying 2 times. Fine. So why I am saying this as a 2 times, because its value is initialized from 0. So once it will be from 0, because I have just put the retry count as 0, I initialize as 0. Okay. And it will run from 0 to 2. Okay. So that will be total 3 attempts. Fine. I hope you are clear on this part. Now I will be going to define it, my retry method here. So I will be going to put one if condition here, that is if retry count is less than max retry count, that is 0 less than 2. Fine. So I'm saying every time when it goes inside, just keep on increasing its counter, and I'm saying just print retrying test and just concatenate it with result dot get name, and again I'm gonna concatenate it with, I could say, like attempt and colon. Again do one thing, just concatenate it with retry count plus 1. Fine. And then I am saying just retry. Do one thing, just return it as true. So this return true basically means that I am just retrying it again. And so this basically means retry again. And this means retry false means stop retrying. Fine. So every time it will go inside this if condition, like 0 is less than 2, it will just give the first attempt, that 0 plus 1, that is first attempt. Okay, then in the next time when it goes here, again it will call. So what it will do, next time it will be 1 and then 2 is not less than 2, so the second attempt. Okay, so like 2 is not less than 2, it won't go inside that. Fine. So now retry count basically keeps track of how many retries have been done. Fine. And max retry count here is basically maximum retries allowed. For example, 2 retries are allowed here. Text will run max 3 times. Okay, your test will basically run max 3 times. Same I think I explained to you all. Okay, so no worries, we'll run this and then you will be able to understand correctly. And basically testng calls this retry method automatically when a test fails. And if it returns true, testng will be going to retry the test. So what happens is, like let's suppose if this is true, so automatically testng retries the test. Okay, it will again call this retry. Fine. So and if it returns false, then basically testng will stop retrying. Fine. So now let's do one thing. I will be going to create one class. So I've just created one class here, that is retry test example. Fine. So in this retry test example, what I'm going to do, I will be going to create my test. So again, I'm giving here one private static int counter equals 0. And I'm just implementing one method here, public void flaky test. Fine. And I'm putting here counter increment, and I'm printing here running flaky test. So attempt concatenated with counter. And now I need to run this test. I am saying if counter less than 3, 0, 1, 2. Okay. So if counter is less than 3, then fall intentionally first 2 times. So I'm saying just fail intentionally. I'm just trying to fail intentionally 2 times. Fine. So what you can do, you can just give assert dot fail, and this will be simulated failure. Fine. And after this, on third attempt, test will pass. So just give system.out.println and test passed on attempt. So counter. Fine. So this test is a flaky test fails on the first two attempts and passes on the third attempt, because we have just set max retry count is 2 and testng will retry it 2 times after the first failure. So total 3 attempts. Finally the test will pass because it succeeds. It will be going to succeed on the third run. So now I will do one thing. I will just go to my testng.xml file. Let me open my project here. So I will be going to open my testng.xml here, and in this we can do one thing, team. Okay, let us first comment this and class. So here my class name is retry test example, right? This is my class. So I will give here retry test example. Now save this, right click, run as testng suite. Let's see. Okay, so I have put retry test example. Okay, I'm so sorry, C team. So now what's happening here is basically I haven't mentioned the @test annotation above this flaky test. So just mention here @test and just give here just a minute. org.testng.annotations star, and let's do one thing. RetryAnalyzer equals RetryAnalyzer.plus. Fine. Now go to your testng.xml, right click, run as testng suite. Perfect. So this was what expected. So you could see here the test passed on attempt 3. So running flaky test attempt 1. Fine. Retrying test flaky test attempt 2. Running flaky test attempt 2. Then retrying test flaky test attempt 3 and running flaky test attempt 3 again. So basically test passed on attempt 3. Perfect. So team, this is one of the approach that how this test, that is a flaky test, fails on the first 2 attempts and passes on the third attempt. Fine. Because what's the reason? Because we have just set the max retry count is equal to 2 and testng will be going to retry 2 times, and after the first failure total 3 attempts. So finally the test will pass because it is getting succeeded on the third run. So this was what we are expecting. Perfect. Now this shows how the test was retried automatically. Now I will be going to discuss another approach with you all. So instead of adding this RetryAnalyzer, is equal to RetryAnalyzer.class, okay, in every test you can apply it globally using IAnnotationTransformer. Okay, so this is basically again one of the interface. So I just again created one class for this retry transformer. So implements IAnnotationTransformer. Okay, and here I will do one thing. So I need to implement one method that is basically called transform method. So it will be going to override the abstract method that is inside the interface, that is IAnnotationTransformer. So I'm just going to implement one method here, that is public void transform. Okay, and inside this I need to pass some parameters. So I test annotation, then class, you can simply give test class, constructor, test constructor, okay, and just give one method, test method, okay. Now team, if no RetryAnalyzer is already set, so why not apply our own RetryAnalyzer? Okay, so in that case, we can give one condition here. Okay, let me put comment here. If no RetryAnalyzer is already set, apply our RetryAnalyzer. So in this case, if annotation dot get RetryAnalyzer class equals null, okay, so just set, that is annotation dot set RetryAnalyzer and RetryAnalyzer dot class, okay. Now going to our testng.xml, so I need to add my listener here, so I'm just now removing the comment here, and I will just give my retry transformer here, fine, and we have retry test example. So now team, what happens? Now you don't need to write like at the rate test RetryAnalyzer is equal to RetryAnalyzer dot class anymore. Now you don't need that, okay. So the retry transformer actually attaches retry logic to all the tests. So if any test fails, it will retry up to the limit you set. All right friends, so let's see now. Perfect. So this is what needed. Again, it just test passed on attempt 3. So alright friends, that's all about retry logic in testng. We first saw how to apply retry at the test level using @test RetryAnalyzer, okay, is equal to RetryAnalyzer.class, and then we learned the global retry approach using retry transformer and testng.xml. So now whenever your test fails because of temporary issues like network delays, application slowness, or random glitches, testng will automatically retry before the marking test failed. So in interviews, always remember to mention both methods, per test retry and global retry, because this shows real world automation challenges. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and share it with your SDET friends, and subscribe to my channel for more interview focused tutorials. Thanks for watching, keep learning, and see you in the next video.